Welcome to episode 13 of this Let's Play series. I'm still experimenting with different ratios and things like that for the actual recording, trying to make it a little bit more clear. So I'm trying something different. The last episode was a bit of a disaster, actually, in a few different ways. And I was trying to, like in terms of recording, I was trying something different there. I think that this will be clearer than the last video. I think the last video was still okay, but this one should be a little bit more crisp, I hope, when it goes to YouTube. So I'm recording at a different resolution now as well. Okay, anyway, that's the technicals out of the way. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the series. Also, I made a big mistake yesterday, when I was recording yesterday with it. It was... we lost, of course, the Celebes and Malacca islands in through this side, where there was like a rebellion, and I did actually have some ships on foreign station, and I'm guessing that there will be comments about what I did wrong. What I did wrong was, and if we go back to the Indian Ocean, I moved the ships that were on foreign station back away from foreign station that were in that area. So if you have a look, you can see there we've still got an Italian ship, one AMC sort of coming back through. If I click on the ship details, you see it's the Gabbiano, and it's got a value for foreign station of 0. It doesn't do anything on foreign station, so it actually doesn't help me at all. And so I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I thought I'd better just correct that. If you go back to the Mediterranean and then have a look at the ships and through there, you can see the values that we have for foreign station ships are, everything's good except for the armed merchant cruisers, which are worth absolutely nothing at all. So that's sort of where we are with that one. They help with blockades, and I think that's what may have got my head a bit confused. Was that I was thinking of that rather than other things. So anyway, that's my excuse. I'm going to stick with it. I was sort of, I think when I experiment with graphics and things, I'm sort of then got that in my head a little bit, so it wasn't as sharp as I should have been. So there definitely will have been comments in yesterday's video that you can't use AMCs on foreign station. So there we go. So that one, I just wanted to get that one out of the way. So I'm recording these a fair way ahead of time. So the game hasn't even launched yet, and yet I think by the time you see this, it'll be close to launch. I think. I'm not as, I don't know, it still won't even be launched yet. Anyway, it's a few days out at the time of recording. So let's just go back in. Other things that we actually have. We've now got, if we go back to our research, we've now got this level 2 in machinery development, so water tube boilers, which does make it lighter for our destroyers. We've got Harvey armor, which is great. We're getting all the way through here. The only thing we don't really have is torpedo technology, so we've still got sort of zeros in through there. Naval guns, we've just got them on medium at 9-inch guns. I don't want to make everything on high. I've got the torpedoes on high because I do want to focus on them. I've got the destroyers on high, like the light forces and torpedo warfare is on high, and we do actually now have our 300 ton displacement destroyers, but I want to get to 400 and then I want to design them up. So I'm waiting for that one, and then we'll start to build destroyers. At the very end there, we just got the level 2 of the ship design, the advanced ship design. We now have the sloping armor deck. We do have to design ourselves a new armored cruiser, and so we do want to do that one, get that one sort of operational. So let's go and do that now, actually. Let's start off with that. So let's go design a ship. We'll go with the armed cruiser. I think we can now do the I think we can I'm pretty sure we can now use slope deck. Let's just go and get this thing to auto build. Now it's still using flat deck on belt. It will allow, will it? Just overweight, that's all. Okay. This does require some explanation, I think, as to what these are and how they work, and it's got a good explanation. So I can actually now do it because we now have the sloping deck. It's interesting that the little symbols that we see through here sort of do give us some good information about what's going on. And so it's basically the flat deck on top of belt. What it means is that you've got the belt comes up the side of the ships, and then there's basically the deck then sits on top of that. But you can still have more decks as such above that if you needed to. And actually, I will show you the actual manual. Yeah, so this is page 39 of the excellent manual. It really is a great, great manual. Anyway, this is the flat deck on top of belt, which is basically our standard way of building things at this point in time. And so what we actually have through here is we have a belt that comes up, then we have the deck, and you can see there can still be other decks above. With this a cross section through the extended part of the ship, so it's just looking through the ship. So we're sort of looking down from the bow to the stern, essentially, through, and then cut in half. Through one of the turrets, and so the belt comes up. The upper belt would then go above this portion of it. The deck then just goes across, and this is really just to protect the important internals. It's not really designed to protect the I guess the berths or whatever else might be sort of in between the actual deck itself and the armoured deck. So if that makes sort of sense, so you can sort of picture what's going on through there. So this all through here can be damaged, no problem at all. Basically, the game doesn't worry too much about that. Not the game, the ship design doesn't worry too much as long as the critical stuff is actually protected. There is like we don't actually have this yet, but there is like a torpedo, sort of like a baffle that can also then be designed into the ships as well, so that if it does get hit by a torpedo, it can then be, in fact I can do that, there we are. So that's, that there is sort of like if a torpedo hits, that will then fill up with water, but it won't sink the ship. And so I don't think we've got those yet. I think our designs are more just the hull, so torpedoes are catastrophic at this point in time. I think that's sort of how we've got it working. I think the baffles we have sort of run laterally through the ship, so that they can flood whole sections at this point in time. Then we've got the turret itself that then comes sort of up this, and so you've got the turret and then the turret top for what's actually going on with the actual armour. So this is the basic armour view of what we actually have. In the game, though, it just sort of shows it pretty much just this aspect, just the deck and belt is what it's sort of trying to describe. The next one up that we actually have is the belt and sloping deck, which we now actually have. And so this is one where the belt, you can see the upper belt is in through that side, which does do a little bit to protect this one through this side. So we've got the upper belt, then we've got the main belt that sort of comes back down. Then we've got the sloping deck that does this. And so the sloping deck is actually in behind the belt. So that's actually important to sort of understand that that's actually what's happening in through that side. So we end up with sort of like extra protection with the belt and sloping deck. It adds more weight to the ship, but it does actually do better at protecting the vitals. And then we've still got the turret and the turret top up through this side as well. Then we go back up. This is actually one thing we can only do on protected cruisers have an armoured deck with sloping sides, but no belt armour. So the belt essentially in the protected cruisers mode, which can only be before you research light cruiser configuration. All light cruisers must be built as protected cruisers. And so what this one does is it has the belt armour is actually just a sloped deck armour. Again, underneath everything else in the ship, it's protecting the vitals, not the workings as such, nor not the day-to-day stuff that doesn't really matter that much in the actual, as far as the ship being hit is concerned, but certainly protecting the engines and so on and so forth. But it does it from the waterline basically as a it sort of leans inwards inside the ship and then forms part of the deck, and so it's protected, but it's not actually armoured as such. So it makes it lighter, but it just doesn't help as much as what it should be. But this is the way we have to. If we build a light cruiser, that's pretty much the only choice we actually have. And so that's the different sorts of armor configurations. And we now do have belt and sloping deck available to us. So if we go back across into the game, you can sort of see down through here with sloped deck, we do end up with a bit more weight being added to the actual design of the ship by doing this one. Protected cruiser, I don't even know if we're allowed to do this one, but if we just do that one through there, you can see that we end up saving a lot of weight. If we just go and click OK. Actually, yeah, ship is identified as a light cruiser, because that's all we can actually do. So the light cruisers in this era are actually the protected cruisers without the actual full armor side. And then we've got the flat deck on top of belt is the basic way of sort of doing things. And that one does sort of just get under the weight limit. So this one is gives us a little bit of extra weight with this one, better protection, and so this one here, I think, then just all okay for the armoured cruiser with that one through there. So depending on what we want to do, we can go with the new design now if we are interested in doing that one, which will give us a bit better protection on the ship vitals. So by actually going that particular style, so we end up with the belt plus the deck helping as well there, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I think I'll just have to bit of a think about what I want to do with this. Actually, I haven't really sort of thought much about what we want to do. Now, the quality there, I think we have to go. I don't think we can go to. Yeah, actually, the quality. When does it change? Changes at 10. If we go to 9-inch guns. Yep, considerably overweight. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. I will have to go and change that. I do want this ship to be relatively strong. And so I think that I'm going to have to go with a number of, like, you can see the quality 0 for the 2-inch. I want that to be 3-inch, where we can actually then get the quality 1, because I definitely want to be using a lot of those. It's got 6-inch guns in through there. Maybe an 8-inch guns back in through this side over this way. We're still considerably overweight, but I can change that afterwards with what we have to then go and do. In terms of speed, 21 is good. So let's maybe just start back over here. 21 is good. Freeboard is normal, which is great. Range medium I'm happy with that as well. I'm going to have to start to get ready to go outside the Mediterranean with some ships. So I might as well sort of get some of these sort of ready for that. We've got the belt of 3.9. Belt coverage is normal. I won't worry about the belt extended, upper belt, decks. The deck of 2 is maybe, that should be okay. 3.5 is, it's not great, but it's probably good enough. The deck extended, we won't worry about that one. Conning tower, same as the belt. Turrets a little bit more than actually I can make that slightly less, say 3.5. Which does reduce the weight a little bit. The turret top should be either the same as the deck or slightly more than the deck, because they're considered to be sloping as well, and so the slope of the turret means that they're a little bit more susceptible. Sorry, the turret tops, but I'll leave that where that is. The secondary guns, if we make them say 1.5, yeah, it saves us a little bit of space in through there. This is the torpedo defense system, the TPS, that we sort of saw in that little diagram, but it's actually we don't know about how to do that one yet. So that's sort of beyond us at this point in time. So everything else is pretty good in the workings and through this side. Now the caliber of the guns in through this era. You know what I probably should have done is had a look at the Marco Polo and actually do a better design than that. Let's go and do that actually. Let's go and let's have a look at the Marco Polo, the new design. So this one's got 4. It's got a deck of 1.5 back and through there. It's fairly big. It's got 9-inch guns. Only one gun, fore and aft. It's got 12 6-inch guns and 12 2-inch guns. So this has got like a lot of gun capacity. And this was good, actually, having this. But I think that we go 3-inch guns here no matter what we do. 6-inch guns here will be okay. We probably don't need quite that many of them. In terms of torpedoes, we've got like a lot of torpedoes, but like we've got 4 of them, but I don't think I'll worry too much about them. So let's, we'll still put some on, but we won't put too many on. Now, this one technically is way overweight with what we're sort of seeing through here. But anyway, that's okay. We'll just go across. We'll just cancel that one. We will design a new ship. Just wanted to get a bit of a feel. Actually, sorry, what was the size of the guns again? Was that 9-inch guns? So if we just go across to Open Design, yeah, 9-inch guns. The 8-inch guns at quality -1 is actually worth getting, I think. So let's not do that one. And we'll just go back to design a ship. Go to the CA, Armoured Cruisers. We'll get them to redesign it automatically. Just have a quick look. These are little doubles. These look good actually. I don't mind the look of this one. This one actually just right away off the bat looks very, very good. 21 speed is good. We've got medium range, which is great. We've still got the flat deck on belt. I'll still keep it this way, I think. But I'm liking the gun configuration that we actually have through here. This is actually quite a good gun configuration this side. This is not great. If we just go and add the 3-inch guns there, it does make us come overweight there. These are 5-inch guns, but we've got 14 of them. Let's make them 6-inch guns, and we'll make them get less of them. So that's 12, 10, 8. Let's make these ones go to 12. I can see these being very, very useful. So this is looking good, actually. I like the look of this. We've got a lot of we've got a lot of power there. We don't have any torpedoes. Does that matter? It's got a narrow belt. We don't want to be doing that one. Okay, so the rate of fire is reduced by 10%. This is in turret A and turret Y. Forward and aft. Yeah, I won't worry about the rate of fire so much with those guns. I mean, it does make a difference. And I won't worry about the torpedoes in this instance as well. So the torpedoes is going to save us a bit of weight. What was that saying again? It was the yeah, so less than 9-inch caliber in turrets. And we don't want the narrow belt. We definitely don't want that. So it takes us over there. If we got rid of the port midships, these are going to be slow anyway. Let's delete that turret and delete this turret as well. We have to sort of even them up. That then brings us back inside again. Yeah, less than 9-inch. So the 8-inch does sort of... Now, I think it's because they're double turrets. If we got... And it's mainly these 6 and 3-inch guns that I really want to be sort of making good use of. If we decrease guns, what does that do? Yep, so that's okay. We need to fill up things. So so when we have... Actually, what I might do is I might go back and add in the others. If we make them as decrease the guns for the A and Y, and then we'll add turrets in. So this is G. That's F and G, I think. No, can't do that one. So that wasn't F. It must have been H. Somehow it actually let us do it before, but not now. Delete this turret. What a shame. Now I can't get it back. We'll try and add another one. Add turret. Was it something else? Port aft wing. No, it's not that either. I'll just pause and see if I can figure out what happened. Yeah, look, I can't bring them back. I'm happy enough to keep these as just single guns for the forward and aft in this case, because we then can put even more 6-inch guns. These are only 8-inch guns, so these are all -1s. If I do make them less, I think we have to go down to 4 to get them to 0, which we've got the 3s there anyway, so I'll just keep them at 6s. I did actually, it had a bit of a problem where it was putting everything on the port side, but we've now fixed that one up as well when I had it paused. I've still got a fair bit of weight. Now that means I can bring down the actual size of the ship. Like I'll be able to bring it down a fair way. So around about sort of like 7,500. Rounds per gun, 130 for the main guns. That will be heaps. That's per gun. This one here we want to get to maybe sort of up around the 200. That will be okay. And then these here we want to be firing a lot of the 3-inch guns. So we'll just get the rest of the weight up. That's the maximum 250. Okay, so we've got like a lot of gunpowder in through this side. No torpedoes. I'm happy enough with that. it's just we're going to be super strong in terms of being able to sort of smash our way through things in this instance. Now, the overall, the look of the ship is, it looks a bit funny with the way the turrets sort of are positioned, but I think I'll just keep them where they are. I could go back into the graphics, and actually, can I? If I just go back to guns. Yeah, look, I'll leave it where it is. I won't go crazy trying to sort of figure out exactly where to sort of move them all. Yeah, look, I'll leave it where it is. I think we can we tweak it? No, we can't really. That's okay. We'll leave it where that is. Now, so this will be the Carlo Alberto. So that will be the new design, 7,500. A bit of weight remaining. Now, if I went with the slope deck, yeah, that just pushes it over slightly. How much bigger would it need to be? Only 7,700. Let's do that. That's going to give us a little bit more, protection by having this sort of configuration, the new configuration. We might as well use it. Just double check and make sure, yep, everything's okay. All right, that'll do us. So this is going to be our new armoured cruiser. And we do need to get a few of these into service because we are behind in armoured cruisers. So this is going to take, how long? 24 months, so 2 years to build these. We'll save and finish. All okay. And, yep, do you want to start developing the design for construction? And it will take 3 months. Yes, we do want to do that. So that will now go into our ships under construction, the design study for the armoured cruiser. Do we do a light at this stage? I think we'll just leave it where it is. Let's just continue on rolling through the actual turns. I hope we don't go to war soon. The Prime Minister floats the idea of a gunnery competition for all ships in the Navy. Now, we're all poor at the moment. We do have a couple of goods, but most of them are poor because they're all basically in reserve at this stage. He believes it will increase morale and combat readiness in the fleet. Holding such a competition will substantially increase maintenance costs this month. With all respect, such competitions do not give training relevant to combat situations, or an excellent idea will institute such a competition forthwith. Now, we do actually have a positive monthly balance, so let's go and say okay. An excellent idea. So, and there we go. So the Regina Margarita, so that's probably its last hurrah, I would guess, for these old battleships. Wins the Prime Minister's Cup. So there we go. That's good. That was it for July of 1895. France has proposed a 5-year security arrangement with other nations. What is our advice on how to respond? We should enter such an... so this one will bring our budget and tensions down. No, we should seek broader arrangements to take interests of all nations into account, or we should avoid entanglements with, that will tie our foreign policy to an irresponsible and dangerous nation. For the sake of the Let's Play, let's do it that way and make it more difficult for ourselves at this stage. And our scientists are working on the problems of the 3-drum boiler, but success has so far eluded them. Now, who's going to go up over here? This will be interesting to see. Our scientists report they are working on the problems of counterflooding valves, but can't find them yet either. And have made unexpected advances in torpedo technology. Great. Now, click on OK and look across over here. Nope, still going. So we now actually have the early gyroscope. This is good. So torpedoes now have a range of 600. This is going to be even better then for our guys. And okay, so yeah, so they're also having trouble finding the destroyers up to 400 tons. Close that one, and yeah, it was only France actually that went up, so that wasn't too bad. France is going to go to war with us when Austria-Hungary does anyway, so it doesn't really matter about them. And turn again. So a colonial crisis with France has arisen. You're asked for recommendations. What is your advice to the government? So we must safeguard our interests, and if it leads to war, we must be prepared to fight it. So tensions go up dramatically, prestige goes up, budget goes up. Best to avoid a war right now, but prepare for future conflicts by strengthening the Navy. So budget still goes up and tension goes up. That's the one. That's the right one for us. While we're still trying to get our fleet ready, because we're not really ready at this stage. We're not ready for a war. We don't want to let our prestige go down, so let's do this one here. Heavy second, but its success has so far eluded them. Okay, are building a 12-inch coastal battery in Austria-Hungary. Wow. Okay. Latest design, the CO Carlo Alberto is now ready for construction. We'll go to the build screen. And we definitely want to be building a couple of these, I think. So we'll go to this one in through here. I don't think we can delete them from this one. Yeah, I think you've got to go into that like what I did last time. It's probably not a good way I showed that, how to sort of get rid of the ship designs, because we got rid of our destroyer design, which I don't really want at this stage until we can get the better looking of it. So let's go across. We'll build 2 of these. The monthly cost will be more than what we can cope with. But let's just do it. Actually, no, let's just maybe just get 1 of them. 1,100. It's... No, we can no, yeah, we'll go with 1, because once I get the destroyers, I'm going to definitely be wanting to go and get those done. So when these all come out in about 2 years' time, we're going to be quite strong, and we should even have other ships by that stage as well. So we'll just keep on going, keep on rolling forward. Yep. So wow, France is really moving ahead now as well. It's going to be difficult when we do go to war. Just hope that the quality of our ships does stand up. We've got a few that are still in active service. You know, why have I got these on foreign station? It's pointless having them there. Put them into the reserve fleet. Oh, hang on, we can't put them, cannot put ship in reserve or mothballed if not in the home area. So they've gone off into the Indian Ocean again. So in that case, I'm just going to have to put them back into active fleet. And actually, I'm going to put them into active fleet, and then I'm going to move them into, move ships to the Mediterranean. Let's click on OK, see if that's, hopefully that will then work. Because there's no point having them really doing anything at this stage. They're really just to help out if there's a if war breaks out. Okay, that's all good. And the turn intelligence report said to have increased the naval budget. So tensions are rising. Oh, hang on, it was reduced for Austria-Hungary. But it's gone up with France. We may end up at war with France. That's okay. That's okay. Prime Minister wants to reduce finance for the Navy to build a new palace and luxury yacht for the head of state. What do you do? Of course, the Navy would be happy to man the new yacht. No, we don't want that. Protest energetically. Prestige will go down. Or enlist the help of the Navy League to derail the plans for a palace. Let's go and do that one. Now, that's going to then mean that something else will go up. Okay, so they've now laid down an armed cruiser. So we're going to be. This is going to get quite hot when war does go, and we've now got rising tensions with both France and Austria-Hungary, which is not good. Which is not good. So we'll just keep it going. Some of your ships have no commanders assigned. Okay, here we go. So we've now got the light cruiser Taranto. One of the commanders must have actually retired. So if we go across to our officers, we can see there we've got one retired. This wasn't the one. Where was he then? I can go through active, retired, dead. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a captain. Now he's not actually attached to anything yet, but he'll be great when we get the new guys coming back through. So rate of fire enthusiast, fantastic. This is exactly what we're looking for through here. Okay, so we'll just go back to the ships in service again, and commanders, and assign new commander. And so we'll just put in the like we've got a commander here, Garino. Unassigned, above average. That looks good. So we've now got a new commander for the Taranto. Tension with Austria-Hungary is reduced. Reduced. Okay, that's okay. Let's coming down. It's just France that's really causing the issues at this stage. So we're a good neighbour. We're now in 1896. Smokeless powder, so improved accuracy and rate of fire. Fantastic. That's just going to help with all of our ships. And we'll just keep on sort of rolling forward with these. Now, if I sort of miss things like as I go from all of these, I can go back to the intelligence reports and then have a look, for example, at France and say, okay, well, what do we know about France? We can then sort of have a look to see what we have found out about them over recent years. But we'll just leave that. We won't worry about that one just yet. Okay, we're sort of at the end of the time, but let's keep on going forward a little bit until we sort of get something else happening, until we can get those destroyers. Okay, so we've now got the Nino Brixo, has also had its commander change. So, new commander. This one's Wiley. Oh, sorry, these are part of other ships. I need the unassigned ones. Okay, so we've close to mastering improved cementing. All right, that's okay. Okay, we've got the blueprints for the French battleship, the Beauvais, currently under construction. Let's have a look and see what this one is. 11,900, 17 knots. So it matches ours, 2 12-inch guns, 6 7-inch and 8 5-inch. So it's got bigger guns, but it'll have slower rate of fire, I guess. 12-inch, wow, it's got a lot of protection. So these ships are going to be hard. We're going to have to use torpedoes against these. These are going to have to be done with destroyers. There we go, better hull strength calculations. We actually save a little bit more now on the hulls. But I really want those 400-ton destroyers, please. Game, come on, game, give me those destroyers. Here we go. We've got more that are now coming back through. The Brindisi commanders, assign new commander. These are all unknown. Just grab that one there. Government is concerned about tensions leading to war. You've been called to give advice. What do you recommend? We could call an international disarmament conference to reduce tensions. So that one is our budget and tension do go down. The budget is important. We keep this one up. If you want peace, arm for war. So this one, the budget and tension would go up. We should only safeguard our interests by negotiating an agreement with. And so this is actually someone that we want to be sort of friendly with. So in this case, let's go Germany. We should safeguard our interests by negotiating an agreement with Germany. So let's do that. Treaty negotiated with Germany. Great. Okay, so now Germany is going to be is now going to sort of be in a bit of an alliance with us, I think. So we've now got improved cementing, so gradual improvement of armour quality over time. That's good. Improved turrets have gone with a setback, and so this could end up with quite a big war. There we go. We've got our alliance now with Germany, which is great. So that's good. And so if we do go to war with Austria, Hungary and France, at least we're going to have Germany should be fighting on our side as well, I would hope. Now, how do they compare? Now, we're all behind in technology. France is average, Russia is average, USA is average. Germany is about the same battleship tonnage as what we have. They've got a lot more in terms of the armoured cruisers. Gee, England's not that much ahead of us there. Yeah, this is interesting. So it would be quite fascinating to sort of go to war here, which would sort of see what actually does happen. Anyway, that's interesting. So we'll just keep on ending our turn. Yep, so that's eluded them. Again, I won't worry too much about this one. So, here we go. Tension with France increases as we are allied with their historical enemy, Germany. Although it did reduce as well at the same time. And so we'll just close that one off. So it stayed, we're only one click away from war, basically. Let's keep on going. God, keep on running out of these. I think I'll just go yes to all. I'm just going to let the game add them in here, I think, at this stage. I'll just go yes. That will then put in a commander for the Napoli. So during manoeuvres, one of your ships opened fire on a fishing boat from Great Britain, sinking the boat and killing several fishermen. How do we react? It was in a restricted area. Now, Britain, if we do that one, our prestige goes down. Let's just do this one here. We've got a little bit that we can actually go and do. So the tensions with Britain went up a little bit. Okay, so there's been an internal upheaval in Norway. France is apparently sending a force there, ostensibly to restore order, but it's likely that they're far more reaching plans. What do you recommend? We should issue an ultimatum demanding that they back down. So this will actually then lead to war. We should push for an international force to thwart their expansionist plans. That will probably still lead to war as well. Or this is no concern of us. Let's go and do this one here. So at least we look reasonable. And France reluctantly recalls the expedition to Norway as an international force arrives. There we go. So we've done the responsible thing, but that should still push them to the point of going above that line. There it is. Actually, it's not war yet, but it's very, very tense. So so any day now we're going to end up with a war starting with France. So we're not there yet. We better start to bring our ships back out of reserve, I think. How far off are we now with our ships under construction? We're only a few months away. Okay. So what I think we'll do is next session, we're still 12 months away with this one here. And we haven't been able to design any destroyers yet. So that's a bit of a problem. Anyway, I think I might leave it here, guys. So right on the cusp of war. And we'll see how we go next session. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you then.